Morgantown, West Virginia, where the locals say greatness is learned and couches are burned. Hi, I'm Jody Mack. We're on the campus of West Virginia University, where they're taking on Colorado. But before that, we're going to talk football, get you set up for the weekend. I'm joined by the coach, Brett Farrow, and a topic of much interest here locally in West Virginia country is the Big East Conference. It's been taking a beating a while, but we've got Cincinnati undefeated in the top 10, South Florida undefeated. What's this team, the locals here would say, could make a run at the conference championship, aside from that big turnover build loss at Auburn last week. So, Brett, how do you see the Big East shaking now?
Well, Jody, South Florida's looking good. They impressed me a lot last week. Going into Tallahassee with a freshman quarterback, didn't know he was going to play until Matt Grothe got put down the week before. They go in and they beat Florida State on their home turf. That's impressive. Cincinnati looking good. We've got some other teams. We've got balance in this league. UConn, Rutgers, and of course, don't forget about West Virginia. Don't count them out. They're really the bellwether team in this conference, which this conference is needed since everybody defected in 2003.
Now, you're exactly right. West Virginia, the biggest perennial winner in the Big East Conference, but the last year's champion, Cincinnati, in the top 10 for the first time in school history. They won here last year in overtime, and they play South Florida in a couple of weeks in a huge game for the Big East Conference. So, really, anybody can win this thing. From one conference with a tough perception to another, we're going to look at the Big Ten. Michigan, of course, will not make the local folks here happy with their coach, Rich Rodriguez. And Iowa went in last week and stunned one of your favorite coaches, Joe Paterno, in Happy Valley.
Well, Rich Rodriguez he is winning. He has been winning. It's possible, though, he may be indicted before the bowl game, so we'll see if he's going to be eligible. Iowa, they finally showed up. You know, for years we've been hearing this is Iowa's year to win the Big Ten. This is Iowa's year to run the table and win the national title. Iowa beat Penn State in Happy Valley. Is that impressive? Yes and no. They've dominated Penn State 6 of the last 7 meetings, just like Michigan did from 1996 to 2008. But Penn State played nobody over the first month of the season. Akron, Temple, Syracuse. This sounds like the NFL preseason.
Yeah, I know. Paterno, of course, got a tough one this week at Illinois to get back on the winning track. A stunner to see them go down 2 years in a row to an Iowa team that's been pretty suspect otherwise.
I still don't count Penn State out. I think by the time that they host the Buckeyes November 7th in Happy Valley, they could very well be in the running. Of course, the Big Ten season wraps up a lot earlier than everybody else's, but key games for Penn State's Michigan, of course, and Ohio State. But I don't count Penn State out, and I don't see anybody else emerging like a Michigan State or a Northwestern. So the teams you just mentioned, and Iowa has never impressed me. Those teams, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, the founding fathers of the Big Ten would be very pleased to have that kind of matchup, and I think Michigan is playing over their heads right now. So, you know, Ohio State and Penn State are the champs. Until they're defeated, they're still the teams to beat.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks here in this parking lot will be wearing Sparty green on Saturday when Michigan State takes on Michigan and Rich Rodriguez. But we're sticking around the Big Ten country and in the Midwest, and we're also going to pander to some viewers because nothing gathers eyeballs quite like Notre Dame football. The Irish 3-1, 2 plays away from being 1-3. So, Brett, how good are the Irish?
They're 3-1. They're not 1-3. If anybody starting out this season said they would be 3-1 heading into October, they'd either be pleasantly surprised or they'd be wanting more from Charlie Weiss. They found a way to win in Purdue. They didn't lose that game. They came back and won.
Should there be an upset alert this week with Washington coming in? The Washington team that beat USC already?
I think they always have to be on upset alert. However, I think they're in good shape. They're at home. They're playing decently. Hopefully Jimmy Clausen for them is healthy. So I could see this team winning 9 games.
That's it for this week's edition of the Weekend Playbook. I'm Jody Mack again. If you like the show, email us at sportsgumbo@yahoo.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/sportsgumbo. Thanks for watching and enjoy the games, everybody.